Hi everyone, Budget Girl here. I am at FinCon 17 with a money master, Whitney Hansen. I absolutely adore you. If you don't know Whitney, she has a YouTube channel, Whitney Hansen. She's also a money coach, podcaster of the Money Nerds podcast, and
blogger? I mean, I don't even know. I guess that's pretty much it.
you do a lot.
I do a lot.
You do a lot. You also are kind of a oft-traveled world traveler.
Oh, heck yes. I travel frequently because I think it's so much fun. And I know we talked about that yesterday.
I want to. That's coming out for me. So the reason I wanted to bring Whitney on to talk with you guys is that so many of you here on my channel are in debt. You're scraping by, or you're trying to dig your way out of debt. I was doing the same thing for 3 years. Whitney is an entrepreneur, businesswoman. She now gets to travel. She is a money master, and she started off kind of, well, where we all did, or
Yeah.
you started off. Tell us a little bit about where you got started.
Yeah, it's such a good question. So where I initially got started, I'm going to take you guys like a little further back.
Do it.
So high school is when my parents divorced, and so that was kind of where I started learning some really powerful personal finance lessons. So I learned really quickly that when you have money, you have options and you have choices. And so I watched my mom stay in an abusive relationship for like 27 years, and the only reason she was in that relationship was because she didn't have money to leave the situation. So when I was 16, I started learning, okay, if you got money, you've got options. And that's where it really started to, I guess, be interesting to me. So I did a lot of reading. I used to listen to like Success Magazine CDs. Do you remember those?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
I
so
do.
good. So yeah, I'm sure we were like the nerdy kids in our car, like rocking out.
Oh, definitely.
To Darren Hardy. So that's where it began. And then the financial piece came in when I graduated from college with $30,000 in debt.
Oh, that number sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I remember holding that actual bill and thinking, oops, like I should have been paying a little bit more attention. I wish I would have worked harder in college. Like I had so many what ifs. And so that's where it stemmed. And so the journey began there, really. And then it's like working a couple jobs, side hustling, sacrificing a lot. I know we're both big into do the crappy stuff now so that you can live better
Live
later.
big later.
Yeah, and so that's where it really began, and so I was able to pay it all off in 10 months, so that's where it started. I was willing to like hustle, and I know you're a dang good hustler too, so it's just, I had a couple of really lucky breaks too, and I had a couple jobs that paid pretty well, so there was definitely some bigger shovels there for sure.
Luck also comes to those who work hard and hustle, and you are a huge hustler. Also, I love that when you got that bill, you went, oops, and I said a very different word.
I'm being delicate, yeah, I know. It's like...
Okay, but now you're living your best possible life. You get to travel. You are a money coach. You have a well-awarded podcast. Tell me about how you built your own business and kind of got your money in order, got your money up.
Yeah, so one of the cool things I think about this community and the community and your listeners and everybody that's trying to pay off debt and just live a better life is it's very story filled. So everybody has a story, and I think that's the cool part is when you are going through this journey, if you talk about it, like exactly what you were doing, like here's what I'm doing, here's how I grocery shop, here's how I'm saving a little extra money. When you talk about that and you're transparent and you share, people care about that stuff. They really do. So I think that personal finance bloggers, especially and YouTubers, have such a cool opportunity to inspire people and to build a business there as well. So that's where my business came into play, was helping people. I had friends and family, probably exactly like you. How do you live on a budget? What do you do? How do I pay off debt? What's the
people
secret?
start asking you questions.
Yeah, and so just being able to answer those questions and then format it in a way that it makes sense as a business model, that's kind of where it began, was just helping people in coffee shops. Like, let's sit down and talk about money.
Okay. That's awesome. So you started, instead of just broadcasting to a huge audience, you started doing one-on-one.
Yeah. So I started, with coaching and then teaching high school students workshops. So I was doing in-person workshops, and then it led into courses, and then courses led into coaching.
And then you started your podcast. So now that you have all that coaching under your belt, you've dealt with people one-on-one saying, these are my money problems, and you telling them how to fix them. Now you're broadcasting to the bigger live audience.
Yeah, and I think the podcast format's so interesting to me because I think you'd kill it too. So we definitely need to talk about that. But podcasts are fun, so it's a way for people to
So much fun.
listen on the drive to work and just be like, oh, I don't want to go to work, but they can hear some inspirational financial material.
Yeah.
And it helps. It really does.
Oh, tell me about more of your side hustles. Actually, you said you're always hustling. Every
Always.
day I'm hustling.
Seriously, I know, I'm like dance partying here. Yes, constantly side hustling. So one that I'm doing right now, so I like to try little experiments and then recommend it to my audience and my readers and listeners. So right now, I'm actually taking surveys. And so
Really?
I'm testing it out to see if it's a worthwhile side hustle.
Oh, okay.
So far, no.
I was going to say, I
hours.
was pretty sure. You know, because we're all Googling all the time, like how to save money, how to do money, and we're all always testing that out. I did the secret shopper thing. That became fairly lucrative. Anytime I tried surveys, I was like, not worth the time.
It's not. I'm learning. I'm trying to figure it out. But so far, I don't know, to be determined.
But I love that even you in like your really successful place, you're still trying new things to side hustle.
It's so much fun. Yeah, and I try weird side hustles too. So for a while, I thought it would be so cool to have a scarf that was like huge and oversized, but it actually functions as a blanket. So when I was traveling, I'm like, I want like a blanket, but I don't want to bring a blanket with me. And so I, at one point, was selling scarves online.
Really?
And yeah, it's like there's just so many different ways that you can make a little extra cash. So I think you have to try something and find what you're good at and what's just interesting to you.
That is so cool. I love that you are so willing to be diverse, that you haven't kind of pigeonholed yourself into something. I feel like sometimes I do that where I'm like, well, no, this is the track I'm on, and if I step off, maybe that would be a mistake. But you're willing. Your philosophy is try everything. If you see money on the ground, pick it up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That is so cool.
Time permitting, of course, right? It's like it's always a balancing act. But if you are interested in something and you want to try it, like you only live once, go see how it goes. That could be your next thing, or it might flop, and that's happened to me quite a bit too. Yeah.
Could be your next thing. But you always pay cash for these types of ventures, or don't invest a lot in.
Completely.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
you know, if it flops, you haven't really lost anything.
No, it's like maybe
a little bit of time.
$20.
Yeah, a little bit of time. Okay, that's an excellent.
Huge. That's a good
yeah,
point.
that's a big thing on it, because you shouldn't just go try anything.
No,
yeah, because
no.
that's how you get into trouble.
Yeah. Don't
All right.
finance a business. I think that's really silly thing to do too. So many people are swiping their cards to go do like multi-level marketing businesses and so many different other ones
I was
too.
just thinking MLMs in my head.
Yes.
I'm like, no, do not go pay $5,000 to get into a multi-level marketing business if you don't have it.
I agree.
Or just at all. Just don't do it.
No.
All right. So now you get to travel all over the world, and you essentially get to run your business wherever you are.
Yeah.
Tell me about how long that took to happen and how you feel about that.
So, gosh, it's been since 2012, I want to say. Officially.
That's not that long, actually.
Not that long. It's tough, though. It's a lot of work to get to that point. So the whole goal for my life was I want to be location independent. I don't want to be tied to one specific place, one area. Like, I want to be able to go explore and do things. Exploration's huge for me. And so I was kind of feeling bummed about my life for a while. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have money, I don't have time. Like, I'm never going to be able to go travel.
I feel like we've all been in that exact place. Like, I don't have time, I don't have money, I'll never get to travel. Like, I feel like that's the exact phrase that's been running through my head for years.
It was for mine too. Like, years. I'm like, okay, I want to do this, this, and this. But I never could. And then people were like, well, you have to credit card hack. And that wasn't for me either. I don't do that life. So I was looking at different ways to like get exploration and go have fun. And so the travel stuff started when I took a spontaneous road trip to Zion National Park. It was like a 9.5-hour drive. And we went there, and that was the start of like 2 years of every single weekend I will go travel, go take hikes. So sometimes that's literally 8-hour drives for one hike over a weekend, but I do it because that's important to me. And so that's one way I do it, and then I found a lot of ways to get like cheaper flights too and build a life that supports that as well.
That is so incredible. And I drool over your Instagram constantly, because when you take those trips to go hike, oh God, she takes the most beautiful photos, and I'm just scrolling and I'm like, I want to travel like Whitney. I need to. Yeah, I've already told her I'm just gonna follow her around and learn her secrets. A lot of which she has on her website, whitneyhansen.com. A lot of the things that you were talking about, I'm like, I've read a post you did on that. I've read a post, so that will be linked below. Her YouTube channel will be linked below, and absolutely check out the Money Nerds podcast. It is actually up for a Plutus Award here at FinCon 17. So let's keep our fingers crossed that she wins that. Thank you so much for being on my channel today. You are truly financially fearless. Whitney's stuff is below. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. If you see you next time. Bye.